What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another live stream right here on Cassius Morris Official. It is Monday, October 28th, 2024. Almost the end of 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling good. I feel like it's been a productive year. This is sort of the time that I start to look back and really tally up everything that's been done, take inventory, and also take a look at what we can do better for next year. And obviously that's everybody, but I feel like it's definitely something that a creator should be doing. But nonetheless, on today's stream, we have a full agenda. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to kick things off breaking down the staggering case that has suddenly mounted itself, is that a real term? I don't think so, against Lil Durk. Lil Durk currently, of course, arrested on the charge of conspiracy to commit murder for hire. We're going to break down all of the details of this case, as I promised in today's YouTube short, as well as take a look at some video from the latest Trump rally where Tony Hinchcliffe, of course, the comedian from Kill Tony, got up and spoke. There's been incredible controversy surrounding his set to the point where they are trying to cancel him. Various sponsors of Kill Tony have pulled out so far. So we're going to break all of that and more down right here in today's live stream. So Lil Durk, where exactly do we start with Lil Durk? Well, we have to start by going back to 2020. And really what stemmed this entire situation, of course, is the murder of King Von. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, King Von was a young rapper from Chicago, good friend of Lil Durk, who was gunned down. And it was said to have been ordered by the camp of Quando Rondo. Now, it wasn't exactly ordered by Quando Rondo, but his camp and OTF have been against each other. So this is basically where they think the hit came from. So in 2020, King Von was killed. And then in 2022, there was a shooting that was directed at Quando Rondo, killing Quando Rondo's friend and leaving him alive. Fast forward to today, it looks like Lil Durk actually made the hit against Quando Rondo. So there's a couple things that we have to take a look at here. The first thing we have to look at is how blatantly obvious Lil Durk made this. We're going to go to this clip from one of Durk's tracks where he not only brought up the hit, brought up the shooting that he ordered against Quando Rondo, but also sampled a clip of Quando Rondo crying when his friend was shot. Let's take a look at this. So this is Lil Durk sampling Quando Rondo, who was crying after Lil Durk had his friend killed. Let's take a look at this terrible clip.
In an SUV.
So, yeah, this is definitely not helping the case. Like I say, Lil Durk not only talking about the murder, not only gloating about the murder, but actually playing a clip of Quando Rondo after his friend was shot. So we're going to take a look at some of the details here in the Lil Durk case. So let's just pull this up, and this is going to tell us exactly what happened. So Lil Durk has officially been charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire, according to the FBI. Other members of Lil Durk's rap collective, OTF, have also been arrested. Durk was in the middle of the rollout for his next album, Deep Thoughts, scheduled for release on November 22nd. RapTV.com reports that it is unclear whether or not the record is still going to be released amidst his legal troubles. Among the category of things that didn't age well are Durk's recent tweet about no longer being a felon because his record was wiped clean and the keys to Chicago's Broadview Village were given to him a week before his arrest. And yeah, that's one of the things that we have to take a look at. Lil Durk has been trying to play it on the straight and narrow, at least for the last little while. Or at least that's what he's been telling us. He's been telling us he's stepping away from the crime. He's leaning into being a little bit more community friendly. It seemed like he was trying to get away from some of that gangster killer image, by doing things like accepting the key to the city. The thing is, though, that this is all in vain, as the key to the city has actually been taken back. So, yeah, it's been revoked following the recent charges. And this is the quote that was given by the Village. They say Broadview withdraws key to the Village from Lil Durk and ends partnership with Rappers Foundation. The quote says, while the American system of justice grants everyone the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, in the village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior. Interesting. They say the court of public opinion. I mean, there could have been a less conspicuous way to say that, to just kind of, make it sound a little better. But I digress. It says our public partners must also reflect the same uncompromising standards demanded by our residents. Given the news that follows Lil Durk Banks, that he has been charged with murder for hire, the village of Broadview is withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk, and is terminating our partnership agreement with youth organization Neighborhood Heroes. As mayor, protecting Broadview's interests and upholding the values of the residents is job number one. So there you go, guys. For anybody just tuning in, like my incredible mod TFT, what's happening, brother? Lil Durk has been arrested on murder for hire charges. And the key to the city of the Broadview Village in Chicago has been withdrawn from his possession. Now, a little more details about the indictment. So the indictment obviously stems from the 2020 murder of OTF member King Von, who was shot at an Atlanta nightclub after he got into a fist fight with Quando Rondo. So those are the details of why he was actually shot. A friend of Rondo's allegedly shot Von multiple times, resulting in his death. The indictment alleges that Durk made it widely known amongst his network that he would, quote, pay a bounty to anyone who killed Rondo and or reward them with lucrative OTF music opportunities. So not only did Durk make it known that he actually wanted to kill Quando Rondo and kill somebody from his team, probably anybody from his team, but he was also using the OTF organization to leverage criminal activity. So I feel like we're going to be looking probably at some RICO charges here as well, just if they were using OTF as something that was sort of part of, like under the umbrella of OTF, if there's an actual criminal organization, we're going to be looking at racketeering, conspiracy, we're going to be looking at a lot of different charges. And this is actually crazy too, just to show how twisted the music business really is. It seems like everybody who is really in a position of privilege, or not everybody, but the vast majority of people who become very successful, there's all types of strange motives behind it. We take a look at Diddy. You take a look at the situation with him and the fact that he was leveraging sex as part of his business and using those opportunities, music opportunities, to get sex and to put people in compromising positions. Now we're seeing the exact same situation with Lil Durk, because he was using the opportunities in music to, I guess, have his own personal team of hitmen, okay? To have his own personal team of people who were ready to kill for him at any time. And of course, the other crazy part is that he talks about this in his music. He legit raps about these things all the time. He raps about how he's going to kill you. He raps about all these, all this tough stuff, quote unquote. And the idea that he would actually be doing it behind closed doors for real, to me, is what's shocking. Because I always say this: if I was a criminal, I would be doing rap. I would be doing like comedy rap. Like I'd be doing like Lil Dicky type shit. You would never catch me on a microphone talking about, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to come shoot you, I'm going to go do this and that. Especially if I was doing it. I would actually rather be on a song talking about, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to take your car, we're going to rob you in the street. If I was an innocent guy, that's probably when I would rather say it. If I was actually robbing people, actually putting out hits on people, you would never catch me in a trillion years going on a microphone and saying so. So this is yet another case of a rapper who got too big for his britches. And I definitely think Lil Durk is in for the Young Thug treatment here. When you take a look at the Young Thug case, you look at the racketeering, You look at all these different things. I would honestly say that OTF being sort of in that world of being a criminal enterprise would lead it to being like a RICO type case, which is going to actually be a lot bigger. We have to remember too that when it is a conspiracy, when it is organized crime, it's not just one crime that the prosecutors are going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at, of course, the specific crime, which in this case is ordering a hit, but they're also going to look again at what umbrella it's under. And if it's under the OTF umbrella, if any of that money is dirty, if there's anything that is not up to snuff with this whole situation outside of the direct charge, that's when I definitely think that they're gonna go ahead and try to make this a RICO and try to make this a bigger case. The thing is, though, that it actually doesn't make a whole lot of difference at this point, because this isn't really a charge that Lil Durk can easily get out of. So he is facing the death penalty right now. The maximum penalty potentially for these charges is death. The least he's going to get is 25 to life. But honestly, due to the fact that it's being proven that he ordered the hit and somebody was killed, and the blatant lack of remorse. We're going to play this clip one more time. This is Lil Durk, for anybody who's just joining, rapping about the actual shooting that he committed to get him in this situation, but not only rapping about it, my friends, actually playing a sample of Quando Rondo after his friend was killed by OTF. He's literally playing part of the evidence in one of his songs. Take a listen.
He's pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV.
Go homie dad, you judge in front of that fat, think you a lifesaver. And I found out when my bitch thought she was cheating, but it was a vibrator. Y'all left from broke down when your broke dad turned to a crack baby. Jump down on both sides when it's gonna find that boy from hurricane.
Absolutely. I mean, guys, this is probably one of the most shocking pieces about the whole case, is the fact that he actually blatantly sampled that. Literally had a guy killed and sampled his friend reacting to his death. Now, some people might think that's cool. Like, some people might, oh, he's so hard, he's so gangster. I just think it's terrible. I really do think it's terrible. And it also goes to show that this is a dead end. Unfortunately, guys, the lifestyle in which Lil Durk has been in and the lifestyle that he promotes, the promotion of serial killing, the promotion of crime, the promotion of destroying the family, especially destroying the black family. These are terrible themes, okay? But it's even worse when you're actually doing it. We see some of these rappers who talk tough, some of these rappers who talk about killing people, and even they understand that it's part of the business. They're not actually out doing these crimes. And the reason they're not doing these crimes is because there's really only two alternatives to committing these crimes. You guessed it. You're either dead or you're in jail. Any of these guys who are super successful, you heard 50 Cent rap about killing people. 50 Cent's never killed anybody. Okay, 50 Cent has never done something like that. And the guys who use it as entertainment, who use it as fantasy, that is, to me, the only time it's actually acceptable. And even then, it's kind of bad. But you're giving somebody an experience at that point. Like, to me, it's kind of like making a movie like Scarface. You're making a movie where everybody's getting shot, and it's incredibly violent, and, there's death and all this stuff. But it's not coming from a place of reality. It's coming from a place of giving somebody an experience. So I do think that, like, this gangster music and shit, it's cool for that purpose. If, like, if I listen to a song by 21 Savage, or I listen to songs by these guys about all the shooting and killing, the same way I look at a movie like Scarface, the same way I look at a movie like Kill Bill, or whatever the case may be. And it's the second that you think that's actually cool, that's when you're lost. That's when you have a problem. It's like 95% of the population will look at a Michael Myers movie and they'll say this is just for entertainment, and they won't internalize it. But that 5% of people, they will take it seriously. They'll try to imitate it. So yeah, I mean, the whole thing is Very odd. And it's crazy that he would actually be so upfront and remorseless about the fact that he put out this hit. Now, I don't know what this is going to do for Lil Durk's case. I don't think this is going to help him in any way. And I can definitely say that we'll probably be seeing that clip I just played in court over and over and over again. If Lil Durk thinks that he heard that scream in his dreams, if he thinks he heard that scream waking up at night, he's going to be hearing that scream quite a bit when he's in jail and they're playing the clip, because that's going to be the main, defense, is going to be that he was incredibly hurt, it was a crime of passion, and he regrets it. But how can Durk's lawyer actually argue that he regrets it if he played a sample of the murder in a song? That's my question. Let's read some of these comments. He's in the thick of it, everybody knows. 100%. Diddy was chasing you and Morris around the mansion. Me and Morris? I am Morris. Who's Lil Durk? He's a rapper. Hi, Zach. I look like Lil Durk's son? No, I don't. Mommy's basement gangster? You wish. Are you a gangster? No. What the fuck are you talking about? If I was a gangster, I wouldn't be doing a live stream. I'd probably be out doing gangster shit. No, there's no gangster on live streams. There's no gangster who does a podcast. And that goes for all the people, by the way, I am calling you guys out now, in my field who try to act hard. I will tell you guys from firsthand experience, there is no such thing as a gangster podcast host, a gangster streamer. All you motherfuckers are soft as hell. Just accept it. Lean into it, bro. Lean into it. Because seriously, bro, there's no such thing. If you're doing this shit, you're not part of the street life at all. And I don't want to be part of the street life. That's the beauty of it. Why would I want to be part of the street life? I like, my freedom. I like making money. I like actually sleeping with women. I mean, if I'm in jail, I'm deprived of all of these things. There's nothing that jail or the street life can offer me that I can't get 10 times better. Why am I talking about this failed rapper? Lil Durk is not a failed rapper. He's not a failed rapper at all. But I'm going to talk about it, Antonio, because when somebody is a superstar, they're going to be talked about. People need to pick what they want. If they want to be, not discussed, then don't put yourself in the public eye and don't put all your stupid behavior in the public eye. And then that way I won't talk about it. But if Lil Durk is going to do such blatantly stupid public things, you're damn right I'm going to talk about it. And anybody has the right to talk about it. If anything, I think somebody who's not in the street life is more qualified to talk about it because they aren't brainwashed. Some of these questions in the chat are crazy. Okay, guys, so let's read a little bit more. For anybody who's just joining, Lil Durk is locked up, currently facing the death penalty for allegedly ordering the 2022 hit of Quando Rondo. Now, Quando Rondo, of course, was not shot. He's still with us. But Quando Rondo's friend was shot. We're going to play the clip one more time. The only reason I'm playing it is because it's like a 10-second clip. For anybody who's just joining. So this is a clip from the actual murder of Quando's friend, which Lil Durk allegedly ordered. And Lil Durk was as brazen to actually sample this and put it in a song. One more listen.
He's pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV.
Go homie dad, you judge in front of that fat, think you a lifesaver. And I found out when my bitch thought she was cheating, but it was a vibrator. Y'all left and broke down when your dad turned to a crack baby. Jumped down on both sides when it's find that boy from hurricane.
I had to play that clip a couple times just to try to verify if it was actually real, because it's so shocking to me. But I gotta be honest, guys, after doing a move like that, making a move like that, it's really hard for me to actually feel any sort of pity for Lil Durk. I know people are online, free Lil Durk. Free Lil Durk. Hate to break it to you guys, but Lil Durk would be free if he didn't order the murder of someone. Okay, that's the strange thing. That's the crazy thing about this hip hop celebrity culture, is that the second somebody is actually held accountable for the actions they chose to make, now they need to be freed. He would be free if he wasn't a criminal. Where is the accountability? Like, why is there no free Durk, bro? Free Young Thug. Free Thug. Young Thug fucking shot up the same house twice in one day. Young Thug shot at somebody's mother and wrote a song about it. Young Thug had people shooting at a 9-year-old child. And you're talking about some free slime wiping your nose? Talking about slat? Let me tell you something. When you're in the fucking penitentiary, slat ain't gonna help you. Slime ain't gonna help you. These motherfuckers ain't coming to help you. You wouldn't even be in there if it wasn't for your own stupidity. And you know what the crazy part is about these guys? Because now I'm pissed. These guys have clean money. They are just greedy. Okay? There is, if you are, for example, if you're a recording artist with the amount of success of a guy like Young Thug, you shouldn't have to have any other income streams. This dude was making so much clean money every single year. This dude was making legal, clean money. Same with Lil Durk. Dude shows up to do an appearance, $30K. 30 racks in the bank to go and drink. Okay, we got to remember, these guys don't just make money off their streams. These guys make money off just being themselves. Once you reach a certain level of fame and success, these guys are getting paid for everything. Show up to the club just to drink and stand there to host a party, 30, 40 racks. Go to a concert, 100, 200, 300 racks. This dude is making money, all these guys, hand over fist, legally. And they're so stupid that they actually go ahead and start messing around with dirty money and doing things that can ruin their career, which, by the way, is the only reason they were in a position to make any money. Okay, if these dudes were still on the street, let's say that Lil Durk never took the rap path and he was still some guy in the hood and he was doing all these things, still. He would have never made a penny. Okay, he would have been hood rich. He would have probably made a few $1,000s and probably been in jail by now. That is the thing. These dudes are so ungrateful. It's fucking despicable. There are so many people, I can guarantee, in their same neighborhoods who wish they could be as successful as them. Lil Durk is a Grammy award-winning artist. Lil Durk has songs with Drake, Kanye West, Future. I mean, to piss that away over a revenge killing, you gotta be the stupidest motherfucker in the whole world, bro. You got songs with Drake and you're killing people. There's rappers who would kill somebody to get a song with Drake. You're killing somebody and giving your whole opportunity away. I mean, it's just fucking insane, man. It's insane. So let's read a little more, guys. We'll read a little more. If you're liking the stream, man, make sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe. It's right above, right above. And you guys can call me whatever you want. Look, guys, in the chat, I'll be whatever you want me to be. I will be whatever you want me to be. I am very secure in myself. So, I will be whoever suits you, if that makes you feel better. Okay? But I have no doubt in my mind that every fucking word I'm saying is true. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So he said that he would pay a bounty to anybody who killed Quando Rondo or reward them with lucrative OTF music opportunities. 2 years later, on August 18th, 2022, one of Durk's associates learned that Rondo was staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. The same day, 5 OTF associates flew from Chicago to San Diego, and they drove to Los Angeles using funds provided by Durk. Okay, so there you go. So now Lil Durk he's involved in all ends of the conspiracy. And these are the things that are going to help people build a case, okay? Because not only did he order the hit, but now he's showing intent by booking plane tickets. Anything that you do after the crime that shows further intent, especially showing organized intent, that's what's going to bury you under the jail, okay? Because it could have been, feasible for the lawyer to argue, Lil Durk, he wasn't seeing clearly. He was in the heat of the moment. And by the time that the guys actually got to Quando and his friend, it was too late. Durk had already sent the order. This could have been even a more plausible explanation if you're trying to get him off the hook. But everything Durk did after that shows his guilt, and it shows the intent. Not only did he have the chance to change it, but he actually took steps to meticulously plan this. Okay, they stalked this dude, these two guys. They stalked them. And they planned an assassination against 2 people, okay? That is really what the scenario is. So this wasn't a passing, fleeting moment in which somebody made bad judgment. This shows that Lil Durk is, this shows that he's completely liable for this, allegedly. So Durk reportedly booked the flights and the transportations, and when he did it, he said, quote, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." That's what Lil Durk said to his team, so trying to hide the evidence as well. Once in LA, they met with Keon Grant, another OTF associate, who got them the hotel rooms. So they actually, they got hotels at the same hotel as Quando. Hotel rooms at the same hotel. So these motherfuckers, they didn't just show up to the hotel and wait outside. This was meticulously planned. It says here that Durk got them rooms at the same hotel as Quando and equipped them with room keys, ski masks, 2 luxury sedans, and guns, one of which was a fully loaded automatic machine gun. And I wonder if these guns are legal too, because again, when you look at these cases, these are the details they latch onto. They're not just going to chase you for the murder. They're not just going to get you for the hit. They're going to get you for those little details, like booking the flights, like booking the transportation. And also the guns. I mean, if these guns are legal, that's going to save them a lot of trouble. If these guns were illegal, that may be one of the more serious charges, because, I mean, you look at P. Diddy, for example. Diddy has over 100 cases open against him in this entire thing. But one of the most serious charges that Diddy has is actually shaving the serial numbers off of guns. That is a serious felony. And, that's what's going to put you away for a very, very long time. I'm not asking if the machine gun is legal. They said there was a variety of guns, and it doesn't matter what type of gun it was. If they're legal, it's going to save them a lot of trouble. If they're shaving serial numbers or if they're doing shit like that, they're going away for a long, long time. So we set up the guys with hotel rooms, ski masks, 2 luxury sedans, and guns. The next day, OTF associates followed Quando Rondo and his cousin to a weed dispensary. So they stalked this guy all the way. A West Hollywood clothing store and a gas station. The OTF associates parked the car behind the gas station so they could ambush Quando Rondo. They got out and opened fire, killing Rondo's cousin but missing Rondo. After the shooting, they went to In-N-Out Hamburger to discuss payment with Grant and flew back home to Chicago from San Diego. So those are all the details, guys, of the hit that was put out by Lil Durk. This dude completely acting like a mob boss. I mean, this is actually insane. And again, this just hits different when it's real because again, I think we all kind of like the fantasy of that. If you're watching this stream, you're probably a rap fan. And if you're a rap fan, you probably enjoy the fantasy to some degree of I'm gonna kill you, I'm so big and tough. You mess with me, you're put you in the grave. All that stuff is again, it's like watching a scary movie. It's like watching Scarface. It's entertainment. But think about a movie like Goodfellas, for example. The movie's entertaining. But you look at the real life Henry Hill, you look at the real life guys, it's not entertaining anymore. It's not cool. It's not funny. It's fucking terrible. Okay? This type of stuff is terrible. And this type of stuff is only, for me, should be reserved for fantasy. There's nothing cool about killing people, man. And I think that we're getting to a point in society, especially in the hip hop culture, where we can finally admit that. The other thing that is worth noting is that, guys, we are losing all of our best rappers. And we're losing most of them due to their own stupidity. How many rappers have we lost in the last 5 years? Due to their own decisions. Whether it's overdoses, whether it's getting themselves locked up, whether it's doing crimes. We have really lost some of the strongest, best, and brightest in hip hop. And I think we're starting to feel it, man. We're starting to feel it. Now Lil Durk is going to go away. Young Thug has gone away. All these guys are going away. And again, nobody's putting them there. They are in there due to their own stupidity. If you want to play mob boss, you get mob boss consequences. Okay? And I feel like all these dudes are soft as hell. I don't buy this gangster entertainer stuff, man. I don't. And I guess Dirk lived up to the name to a degree. I mean, he could back it up, but that's not cool to me, man. That's not cool to me that you would mess up the legal hustle that made you rich to go act a fool. If you want to be in the streets, go back and be in the streets, bro. There's a lot of people who want your spot. You're taking up space. If you want to be an artist and be a gangster, you're taking up space. Okay, there are people who actually care about this craft, people who actually care about the music. They would not fuck it up if they got your spot. Let's take a look at some of the comments here. He's going to get a Rico, if anything. I completely agree, Alex. I think Rico's is definitely coming, and I think that they are going to try to make an example. Mark my words. They're going to try to make an example of Durk and OTF in the same way that they made an example with YSL. That's exactly what they're going to do. There is a lot of different elements to this. And I do think that, again, I'm never the guy to cry race. Never. That is not my thing. But I do think in these scenarios, there is a bit of a racial element that these rappers, because it's like, we let you in. Not me, but this is the perception of people. We let you in. We took you out of the hood. And now you want to act like you're top dog, like you're tough shit. You know what I mean? They see the fact that these guys, they want you to be quiet and make your music and keep making the money. The second one of these rappers comes in and they start taking things into their own hands, they're out of people's control. They act like they're running shit. They act like they're bigger than the cops. That's when the identity politics come in, and then that's when law enforcement wants to make an example out of you. Because there's an element of disliking the rap culture, disliking the hood culture, not wanting that to really have any footing when it comes to the mainstream. And when these people who have that view see a guy like Young Thug, who's making a ton of money doing rap, who's balling out of fucking control, balling harder than people who went to Ivy League schools, balling harder than the cops, balling harder than all this shit, and he did it off of like gangster hood culture, that makes a lot of people mad. Okay, that makes a lot of people mad. And it makes a lot of people want to make an example out of those folks, even more so than somebody else. Because it's like, we brought you out of the hood and this is how you're going to behave. Now you think you're top dog? No. What's it say in the comments? Some gangsters like Nip and Pusha are talented, though. Yeah, I mean, yeah, R.I.P. Nip for sure. But Nip didn't kill anybody, did he? Like, I feel like you know, like there's definitely lots of rappers who have been involved in the criminal and gang life, but the ones who do this always get caught up. That's the thing. I don't think Nipsey ever called a hit on somebody or anything like that. Hood culture kills kids who think it's legit. Half of it is faker than WWE. I completely agree, bro. I completely agree. How do I know what Nip did? Well, I know what was publicly documented and not. If Nip killed somebody and I don't know, then you wouldn't know either. I know as much as you, my friend. We use the same internet. There's nothing you know that I don't know. At least in pop culture. XXX Tentacion was really talented. Absolutely he was, brother. Okay, so we're going to move on to another clip, guys. So part of the case here and part of what we actually figured out is that Lil Durk was actually snitched on by members of his own team. The court documents have revealed that members of OTF were wearing wires around Lil Durk for upwards of 2 years. Okay, so this rapper who talks about no snitches, I'll blow the head off a snitch, there's no snakes in my camp. This dude had people wearing wires around him for 2 years straight. We're going to take a look at this video of Whack 100, of course, acclaimed manager in the hip hop world, the manager of the game, and a well known podcaster as well. Here is Whack 100 speaking on the OTF situation and the fact that Lil Durk was actually snitched on by his own people. So this is a big one, guys. Let's take a listen to Whack 100. And DJ Vlad, don't be a fucking cocksucker and give me a strike for playing this dude. Seriously. I'm trying to make it out here too. You got a lot of fucking money. I'm not stealing your shit. I'm reacting to it. So Vlad, please help a brother out, bro. Help a small creator out for 2 seconds with your massive platform and be chill about this, would ya? I'm kind of sick of Vlad taking videos down. Love you though.
Informant's recordings played key roles in linking Lil Durk to the murder for hire plan. There's a guy named OTF Jam.
That was wired.
Very ironic name.
Jam
now
got
he
him
put
in
everyone in the jam.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
Yep.
He got put in the jam, and now he's...
Right. OTF Jam did 12 years for attempted murder back, I guess around 2010. He got out in 2022, right around the same time of the Quando situation. And he allegedly had been wearing a wire for the last 2 years.
I'm 22 to 24.
So 2022 to 2024, Lil Durk was being surveilled by wires with actual fed rats in his camp. This is actually absolutely insane. So OTF Jam, now it does make sense though that this guy had himself in a legal situation. So he did 12 years for attempted murder, got caught up with a gun charge, and then he decided to snitch on Lil Durk in exchange for less time or in exchange for perks. So yeah, I mean, definitely it makes sense that this would happen. And it sounds like this guy is just a jailbird who was trying to get out of that life. I mean, you know, to go to jail for attempted murder, come out and catch a gun charge, and then be involved in another murder for hire plot. I mean, this dude is the reason jails were invented. But if somebody's that stupid, it's not actually that hard to believe they would snitch on people they're supposed to be loyal to as well. This guy is obviously not bright, and he's obviously built for prison. So, again, I'm not surprised OTF Jam was the one who snitched.
Yeah.
So he immediately got caught up.
Yes. That's what it sounds like. And, of course, what they're saying is this is retaliation for the killing of King Von by Quando Rondo's right-hand man, Lil Tim.
slow down. The killing that happened at the Beverly Center is retaliation.
What killing in the Beverly Center?
That's where the last murder happened.
Of
This
who?
murder happened at the Beverly Center across the street.
Oh, Lil Pop.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that, but the Lil Pop murder, which was supposed to be the Quando Rondo murder, was a retaliation.
So Vlad keeps explaining to him that that it was a retaliation situation. So Whack 100 speaking on the fact that yes, Lil Durk was snitched on by his own team. I want to ask you guys this. Are you surprised that Lil Durk had snitches in his camp? I'm going to ask you guys this, and while I wait for the response from you guys, I will give you mine. Like I say, I don't think it's that shocking. You know, we've heard the term no honor amongst thieves. And again, when somebody is that thick-skulled that they can't keep themselves out of prison, you know, anybody who is even using 1% brain power, who was associated with OTF in a city like Chicago, they would be using that to their advantage. I mean, there's people who've touched some of these groups, you know, barely even being close to them. YSL, OVO, you know, OTF. And they can go and do DJ sets as the guy from OTF, you know, club appearances, OTF members, such and such. You can make a bag just off of your association with this stuff. So the fact that they're still continuing to get drawn into criminal activity, they're not using any form of intelligence, it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, anybody with a brain could find a way to make money off this. What up, Robinson? March says, no surprise. Jadrian says, every camp got a rat in it. That's what I'm starting to think, Jadrian. That's what I'm starting to think. Because it's really hard not to have that. And that's honestly why I don't really have a huge amount of respect for the whole gangster culture, because especially in entertainment. Because these guys are fake as hell. That's the one thing about the music business as well. They're completely fake. You know, having been in and around this, you know, world for a long time, everybody's completely full of shit. And the one thing they can't keep is their word. So if you're a bunch of entertainers, a bunch of rappers, I'm not surprised at all that, you know, they probably sat down and said, you're my brother for life. You're like family to me. And then he turns around to snitch. I'm not surprised. How can you make money off being associated? You can just make money off the name, man. That's the thing. If you're part of the OTF family, you could go do after parties and say it's hosted by OTF. You could do DJ sets hosted by OTF. You know, you could do social media sponsorships. Say, hey, it's a member of Lil Durk's team who will, you know, play your music on his story. There's 1,000 things you could do to make legal money if you're involved with something like OTF. You know, you got to remember the guys in a city like Chicago. They worship these guys. They idolize these guys. They think they're bigger than life, when really they're just a bunch of low-life criminals. But using and capitalizing the perception of you is a way you can make a lot of money. You know, ever since Lil Durk did that song with Drake, he's been on that major tip worldwide. Now everybody's going to say, oh, he was huge in Chicago. Yeah, in Chicago. Okay, out in Canada, they didn't know Lil Durk before that. They didn't know Lil Durk in these places internationally before that. And when he stepped into that realm, he missed the key step, which is with great power comes what? You can finish my sentence, okay? Lil Durk never made the adjustments. He never made the adjustments, and that is where he fucked up. So yes, 2 years Lil Durk was wired up. We're going to definitely find out what is going to happen to him. I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. What do you think will happen to Lil Durk? Low-life criminals with social media platforms that exploit impressionable minds. March, I couldn't have said it better myself. I could not have said it better. Chef's kiss. I believe you are jealous. Why would I be jealous? You think I wish I was in jail? You think I would switch places with Lil Durk right now? You think I'm jealous of his life? I hate to break it to you, my friend. I'm not jealous of that guy. I would not trade my life for his under any circumstances. Who is Lil Durk? Lil Durk is a rapper, guys. Lil Durk is a rapper. He's a rapper who's Grammy Award winning. He was just arrested for doing a murder for hire plot. So yeah, guys, let me know. We're going to continue to cover the OTF story and the Lil Durk story. Ultimately, I do think that Lil Durk is probably not going to get out. You know, when you look at a case like Young Thug, just the RICO charges are what's keeping him caught up in the legal system to this day. It's been over a year. So Lil Durk having the murder for hire element with somebody dead, plus the RICO element, I don't take any joy in saying this, but I do think Lil Durk is going away for a long time, if not actually getting life in prison or the death penalty. So, yeah, I think it's serious. Alex says he had stuff going for him. He started music with. Sorry, it's hard for me to read these chats because it's such a white font. He was doing country music with Morgan Wallen and stuff. He tossed away his life for vengeance. Yeah, that's completely true, man. Lil Durk, that's what I was saying earlier. He has everything going for him in this business. He's incredibly successful. And that's what pisses me off when somebody goes to throw it away. Fred says, who did he want to have killed? He put out a hit on the rapper Quando Rondo, and they shot up Quando's car and they killed Quando's cousin. They missed Quando Rondo, but that is who he tried to have killed. That is the reason Lil Durk is in jail today. What's up, Joe? You're from the Middle East, Dubai. Shout out to Dubai. Shout out all my Emiratis, man. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next story. Make sure to let me know in the comments and the chat what your thoughts are on the Lil Durk situation. Okay. Hopping over to our next story, Tony Hinchcliffe. Hold on. Let me redo that when it's on the screen. Hopping over to Tony Hinchcliffe, of course, the acclaimed comedian from the popular hit podcast Kill Tony, which, by the way, I just have to say before jumping into this story, I am so goddamn proud of the guys over at Kill Tony. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Red Band. Shout out to, everybody involved. The growth that Kill Tony has seen in the past couple of years has been absolutely tremendous. But none of those instances rival this one, as Tony Hinchcliffe gets up on stage at the Donald Trump rally at Madison Square Garden yesterday to deliver remarks. Now, this was a bit of a different gig for Tony, as we're going to see. Tony was the only comedian who spoke, and his comments have struck a nerve with Democrats all across the world. We're going to take a listen to a couple of these clips, and let's see what we have to say once we hear them. So there's a couple highlights here from the Tony Hinchcliffe appearance.
The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what you guys want. All right. Heck yeah. It's cool. Black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys are, this is a groany little morning crowd, huh? It's tough to follow this audition for the next Commissioner Gordon's over here.
A little bit of Tony Hinchcliffe live at the Trump rally. So that was pretty funny. I like the joke that he made about the Democratic Party. I think that was a good joke, really good joke, funny, spot on, perfect for the audience. The watermelon joke is, it's not that funny, but I don't find it offensive. Like, I'm mixed race. I'm part black. That's a black joke about watermelon. Do I find that offensive? No, I think it's not hilariously funny, like a knee slapper, but it's kind of funny. But then again, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask because I don't get offended. Like, you could literally make a joke about me. Guys, I read the chat every single day. It's impossible to offend me. There's nothing you could say to bother me. But yeah, I mean, Tony kind of went for some jokes like that, some general jokes. I think it's a little bit hacky in a way to do the black watermelon thing, but I, if it's going to be condemned, I think it should be condemned for not being that funny, not for being offensive. I don't really care about the offense part. If it's funny, it's funny. But yeah, this was not that funny. Let's take a look at the next clip. I think these clips are funny, but these are the clips that Tony Hinchcliffe is receiving a lot of backlash for, especially the part where he speaks about Puerto Rico, calling it a floating piece of garbage. Let's take a listen.
Right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
That's funny.
It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now the past few years. It's a real thing. And, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating the pets up there. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And
But see, that's not that funny though. That's the thing. Like, I don't really see how that's supposed to be funny. I'm not trying to be hard on Tony. I like Tony a lot, but that just wasn't funny.
there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Now, again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here. All right. Very good.
There we go. So Tony Hinchcliffe sort of fighting for some laughs and applause at the Trump rally. Here's what I'll say about Tony Hinchcliffe. I think the jokes were pretty funny. I do think that they sort of border on low-hanging fruit. You know, black people eat watermelon, Latinos are dirty. I mean, this is sort of jokes that you could find in an Uncle John's bathroom reader. However, I do applaud the fact that Tony got up and said, look, I'm going to try some shock comedy. I'm going to try to do what I do, even though I'm in a whole different setting. I do think it was set up in a weird way, and I'll tell you why. Tony Hinchcliffe was put up there to speak in between a bunch of serious speakers. So as he said, he's, speaking next to senators and congressmen and people who are career politicians. And then Tony's put up there with zero setup whatsoever to do comedy, which I don't think makes any sense. The way they should do it is the way that they did it at the correspondence dinners. Those dinners where you'd see, Don Rickles come out and he'd roast, Reagan, and he'd do stuff like that. There was a part of the night that was reserved for a comedian. And it almost seemed like every time that happened, people kind of let their guard down and they said, okay, this is time for comedy. What I think happened here is that this was mixed in with serious speakers who were actually campaigning for Donald Trump. We are days away from the election. People are not in a joking mood. And the way that this was framed was more so in a way that was serious than a way that was joking. If we look up the definition of a joke, because in 2024 we evidently have to do so, it says a thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter. A thing that someone says to cause amusement or laughter. Now, when you think of the Puerto Rico comment in that context, in which it was meant to be delivered, the context of a joke, there's nothing offensive about that at all. If Tony Hinchcliffe was getting up to make a serious speech, and he said that Puerto Rico was a floating mass of garbage, that is when you should get mad at him. That would be a deeply offensive thing to say if it was serious. But I have no time for these sensitive motherfuckers who want to sit and cry about a joke. If you want to cry about something, cry about what's going on in Israel. If you want to cry about something, take a look at Lebanon. If you want to cry about something, take a look at Ukraine and Russia. Take a look at the nuclear situation. Take a look at the economy. If you're crying about a joke at this point in time, with everything that's going on, you care about a joke, you are a fucking idiot. I don't know how to say it any more clear. There are so much more pressing things happening, and you want to cry that a comedian told a joke. You're literally just non-intelligent. You're not an intelligent person if that is what is on your mind at this point in the game. We're at a stage in the game where there's no going back. It's crunch time, motherfuckers. So there's serious things to worry about. I don't care if you're offended. Fuck you. I'm offended every goddamn day. I deal with it. Who gives a shit? I see things I disagree with every day. I don't make it your problem. Do I? I keep moving. You don't even know if I'm offended. Because I don't get offended. Because I'm a fucking grown man. If you're a grown adult and you're offended, I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's so stupid. I want to keep going, but my phone's going to fucking die and all this shit. We're going to have to switch up the setup, guys. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'm rooting for Tony Hinchcliffe. He was just dropped by his sponsor. And Kill Tony, it looks like, is going to get dropped by a couple more sponsors. I hope they weather the storm. And I definitely think he's going to come out on the other side. If you like the stream, make sure to subscribe. If you're on your phone, the subscribe is up above, guys. Please smash that button. It's a completely free way to support an up-and-coming creator. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. I'm live almost every single day with music and entertainment topics, politics, the whole nine. Don't miss anything. Shout out Tony H. Shout out Death Squad. Shout out Red Band. Shout out to you guys. Have a great night.